All right. Welcome, everybody. How's everybody doing tonight? Um, I'm just trying to make sure that we are live on Facebook. It takes a few moments for it to kick in, but we will be live on Facebook and YouTube tonight. So if you're out there watching and you were invited to this live, stay tuned because you're going to get some information tonight that could change your life. Why is it? Okay, now it's saying I'm live on Facebook. Okay. Good. All right. So we're live. So how's everybody doing tonight? We have Mr. Superstar Ralph Falconberry with us.
Hello.
We have the rock star Luann Stone.
That's
Man.
right. Way to go.
We have the ringleader of this whole circus, Mr. Greg Six.
Yep.
And we have Melissa. I can't remember your last name. I'm sorry.
It's a really tough one. Smith.
Smith. That's right. I knew it. As soon as you said that, I knew it. I was like, what is it? So tonight, you're going to hear stories from all these people, how they've reversed insulin resistance, took back control of their health. We're going to explain what insulin resistance is and what we've actually done to reverse these problems. So if you are in here, you're wanting to hear what this is all about. Oh, we lost Mr. Ralph already. He must have got a call or something. Okay, now he's back. Oh, now he's gone again. I don't know what he's doing. He's got some kind of a connection issue or something.
Oh, he's
All right,
back.
but he's back.
Trying.
So you're frozen, but you're here. We can hear you. So
That figures.
your picture looks like you're mean mugging us, but it's all right. So
You're back.
How about that?
first, let's start off with a quick story here. So I know a lot of people have been on our lives. Oh, now we got the echo again. Who did it? Okay. So Luann, why don't you start us off with your story? Let's try to keep these to 2 to 3 minutes if we can and keep this rolling. And then once you share your story and tell us where your health is today, we're going to kind of talk a little bit about insulin resistance, and maybe we'll kind of bounce around between the 5 of us and have each person touch on a different topic or something. So Luann, what made you decide to kind of take control of your own health, maybe look into something that was all natural and stay away from the medication and do this yourself?
In 2012, I was diagnosed with stage 3B breast cancer that metastasized to my liver, lungs, kidneys, and uterus. And so I went all natural after quitting chemotherapy in 2014. But my weight kept going up. And about a year and a half ago, I started developing heart palpitations from what I believed was the chemotherapy that I did.
Yeah.
So I ran into Ralph and in a cemetery. And
That always gets a good laugh out of everybody. Like, what are you doing talking to some dude in the cemetery?
just never know where God's going to lead you. Led me to the cemetery. And he had reversed his type 2 diabetes and had, lost a bunch of weight. And I thought, well, the doctor told me I needed to lose weight. And I told him I was eating better than he was. What did he suggest? He suggested that I try their new medication. I wasn't doing that. So
Yeah.
he told me about his story. I thought, why not? It's got a 90-day money back guarantee. I have nothing to lose.
Exactly.
The first month, my heart palpitations went away, and they have not came back.
Amazing.
The first month, I lost 20 pounds. I am now down 44 pounds, and my husband is down, I don't even know how many now. A lot.
Yeah, I seen a picture of him yesterday, and I was like, holy cow, because I just seen him in person like a few weeks ago, and I was like,
Yeah.
daggone, like he looks like he's lost even more weight. So
Yes.
while you're talking, I'm going to show your before and after photo real quick.
Oh boy.
So go ahead.
So he started doing it after me, and really realized that he needed to, start fasting. I don't know who that gal is. She
Great.
needed help.
Great
He
job.
had no idea how big she was, let me tell you. So,
Way to go, girl.
really, he really my husband really knuckled down the first of the year, and it's just fallen off now.
Yeah,
He's smaller than I've ever seen him in 35 years.
Wow.
I don't have his recent before and after photo saved, but I'm definitely going to add it to the rotary here because I was like floored after just seeing him a few weeks ago.
It's amazing.
Yeah, the picture from you guys going to the reunion this last weekend, I was like, wow. So can you share real quick, like what was Bob dealing with before? Why did did you twist his arm and make him do this because he was stubborn or what?
No, he wanted to lose weight, but I think the older that we get, it becomes harder even for men, not just for women, but for men. And he had tried, in the past, he gave up, a few things here or there and lost weight. So when that didn't work this time, he was like, maybe I need to try something different. But he was having severe backaches all the time, sciatica. Um, he has had Agent Orange poisoning, so he had neuropathy in his feet and sharp pains go through his feet all the time. That has decreased by 90%, probably more than that. And he hasn't complained about his back in months.
Wow, that's
So,
awesome.
yeah.
So we got a new participant in here with us.
There's Laura.
Miss Laura,
There's
how are
Laura.
you doing? Can you hear us?
She's
Laura,
having technical difficulties.
Hi,
can you
Laura.
hear us?
Oh,
Can you
no,
hear
she's
I think we can hear you, but you can't hear us. Ralph, are you on your phone?
Yeah.
I was going to say maybe you could text her and tell her she's freezing and
Mm-hmm.
we can't hear her. Or I maybe did hear her a little bit, but so Luann, also when I was out there with you guys, Stoney was telling me also he started getting this dark skin pigmentation that kind of was like telling you, hey, that's a sign of insulin resistance, right?
That happened several years ago. Actually, he got like really dark purple patches around his neck. And I had started researching, what it could be. And we went to the doctor and they wanted him to see a dermatologist, which I was like, absolutely no, because they would want to give him a steroid and we don't do steroids. And then I said, they'll want to cut it out or freeze it. And we weren't interested in doing that. So we changed his diet then and it went away. And so, but I never even thought about I had insulin resistance because I didn't have those signs. I just had a big belly.
Right.
So
Isn't it crazy? Greg, you can help touch on this because you've been talking about this stuff longer than any of us. But it's crazy how insulin resistance kind of manifests itself or shows itself in so many different ways and like everybody's different, right?
Absolutely. And it's interesting that you picked on me to talk about the change there because you and I 20 minutes ago were just talking about making video. And so I'm deciding what I'm going to make a video on. And I'm just going to give everybody listening here what my video is going to be because it just screamed at me. Starving the heart in a sea of sugar. Now, understand, my family dies of heart attacks. That's just what we do. My dad died of a heart attack. His 9 uncles all died of heart-related problems. His grandfather died of a heart attack. And I was on that same path. I had the high blood pressure, high cholesterol, high triglycerides, brain fog, circulation, inflammation. The main problem I had, I thought, was neuropathy pain. My feet were a mess. But forget about neuropathy right now. I'll let somebody else talk about that. What I'm talking about right now is this heart stuff. It says the strangest part of what happens inside the heart muscle itself, when cells can't use glucose properly, they switch to burning fat for energy. But that's an inefficient fuel source. The heart becomes tired and stiff, building up microscopic scar tissue in a condition called metabolic cardiomyopathy. So even though sugar is everywhere in the bloodstream, the heart muscle is starving for clean energy. And that's where heart failure quietly begins.
Wow.
Everybody can go ahead and have a drink of your Coke now.
Right. And that brings up a good point. So in everybody's body, you're supposed to have 1 cube of sugar floating around in your bloodstream at any time, 1 teaspoon, right? So just look at that when you're drinking a soda or Starbucks, like that new pumpkin spice latte from Starbucks has 94 grams of sugar in it. Look at how you're flooding your bloodstream with sugar, right? And we all do it. It's not just the sodas, it's the pasta, it's the bread, it's the French fries, it's the chips, it's all the processed garbage because they remove the fiber from it. And everybody says, well, I don't eat a lot of sugar. Or I did a video not too long ago of just 1 tablespoon of ketchup. How much sugar was in that? So are you eating ketchup on your burger and your fries? Are you,
Right.
barbecue sauce and salad dressings and all these things? It's turning to sugar in our blood, folks. And that's what we're trying to stay away from to reverse our insulin resistance and become more insulin sensitive. Right?
So,
Laura, can you hear us now?
no,
Kinda.
Like
My
Luann
internet's
was
being
last night.
all kinds of stupid. So
Can you hear us?
Well, hey, there you go.
We hear you. Are you hearing us okay?
I hear the doggies.
we hear
Okay.
that.
So here, let's just touch on, maybe we can go around here and everybody kind of
can.
give a sign of give a sign of insulin resistance. So Luann talked about the dark skin pigmentation. Another one is skin tags. I used to have a bunch of skin tags, and I thought, I'm going to have to go to the dermatologist and get this cut off. And then everything I looked at said, well, they'll just grow back, right? That it's not a permanent fix. But then when I reversed my insulin resistance, they just dried up and fell off. So, Ralph, what's another symptom of insulin resistance that you kind of was you?
Mine would have been the neuropathy issues.
Right?
With the foot pain, the tingling, the numbness. Basically, you can't feel your toes. No.
How about you, Melissa? What's a sign of that your body was giving you that you were insulin resistant?
I assume that was my migraines.
Yeah, migraines are a big one.
Have they disappeared?
They are completely gone and have been gone since the end of April. I had 15 to 20 a month.
Look at that.
Wow.
Way to go. Way to go.
So there's even way more signs your body is giving you, like skin problems, eczema, psoriasis, adult acne. Maybe
Rosacea.
you've got high blood pressure, rosacea. Yeah. Greg, any more that you can think of?
Shit.
There's so many weird things that happen in your body. I mean,
Right.
if we just start talking about the weird things, don't even think about insulin resistance. Just think about what has happened in your life that was strange. There's a good chance it was an insulin resistant symptom because there's crazy problems. Luann, I don't know if you meant it this way, but just the inability to lose weight. You were talking about that with your husband. I've always done this and this works. And then one day, no, it don't.
Exactly.
That is an insulin resistant symptom. You can't lose weight, but you could.
Yeah.
It's crazy amount of thing. But then for my family, the whole heart thing, I didn't know what sugar was. To me, sugar came in a white bag.
Yeah.
That's what sugar is. I would never have thought to say 6 Krispy Kreme donuts had a whole lot of sugar in it. I wouldn't have thought about it like that. This is a donut. How much sugar does it have in it? I don't know.
So I got a question I want to ask all of you because we're all roughly the same age, right? Within a couple of years of each other.
35 or so. Yeah.
Yeah, we're like 25 to 30, right? But like when I was younger, you never heard anybody talk about type 2 diabetes or insulin resistance. They always called it Bob got the sugar, right? He's got the
Yeah.
sugar,
Yeah.
right? And a
Mhm.
few years later, you say, well, Bob's sugar got so bad he had his foot amputated or things like that. And for us three guys that were dealing with neuropathy so bad, that's what we were heading to, right? Was
Yeah.
probably losing toes, feet, a leg, because that's what happens when you've got the sugar, right? And now we know it's way deeper. And the reason we're talking about all these symptoms that your body will give you, guys, you know, the cravings, the constant thirst, the frequent urination, the inability to get a restful night's sleep, to high blood pressure, to a big belly, you just can't seem to keep it off, is it all leads to the more serious symptoms of insulin resistance, which is the pre and type 2 diabetes, the heart disease, which is the number one killer in the world, the neuropathy, the blood pressure, the thyroid problems, the cancer, the list goes on and on. And all the medications that your doctor is going to write you a script for, it's just like a band-aid on a gunshot wound. It's never going to heal the gunshot wound. It's never going to fix the problem. You got to get to the core of it, which is in your gut, and reverse the insulin resistance. And then these problems start to go away. Anything any of you want to add to that? I mean, because all of us had tried other things to fix these problems, right? I mean, I was on max dosages of metformin, Januvia, lisinopril, this, that.
Yeah.
It never made them go away. It just managed them. Can you touch on that at all, Ralph? Like, where were you at with these?
Same issues. I was on 11 meds a day at max dose. 4 months later, I'm on 2. I did that for 8 years. And the whole reason why I contacted you to begin with was a girl that I went to school with lost her husband to the sugars. He had a foot issue, which turned into he got to go get it checked out. He's got a sore. Then he had to go get that checked out. Now he's got to get a toe amputated. Then he's got to get his foot amputated. Long story short, within about 9 months, he was gone.
Wow.
And that woke me the hell up.
I was trying to see if there we go. I can kind of mute her for a second until we.
Laura's
Okay.
back.
So I was getting a lot of scuffling as she was getting ready. So is your microphone working, Laura?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Okay. We're good now. That sounds a little better.
Hello,
Understand, folks.
Well, I switched to my phone.
Oh, okay. So some people the phone works. Some people the phone doesn't work. I won't point at Luann, but I'm just.
I couldn't use my laptop. I had to switch prior to getting on. I was trying to do it with my laptop because it's got a better camera. I had to do it.
So, yeah, folks, a lot of us have background noise because we're normal people, right? We're not on here thinking we're like running some pro podcast and we're medical professionals and all that. We're all just telling you our stories and speaking from personal experience. So, Laura, I don't have your before and after photo, which I need to get. But when I met you a few weeks ago, I was floored because Ralph showed it to me and said that you were back to your high school graduating weight. Was that your whole reason of getting on this protocol?
No. So I'm not really quite there, but I can actually wear the clothes that I wore when I was in high school, which is kind of weird.
Yes, that's all.
What is up with my phone?
She having more technical difficulties?
Apparently.
Yeah, you're frozen now.
But I can hear you and I can see you and I can see everybody moving.
Okay, so go ahead and tell us your story real quick. Like, what were you dealing with and where you at now?
Well, Ralph doesn't even know this, but so a year ago I was in a car accident with someone that I knew, and he died.
Oh,
And
sorry to hear that.
it was a lot more traumatic than that, but I won't go into details. But My mom passed away 3 years ago, and right before that, I had lost like 60 pounds. And after she died, I kind of sat in my house and gained 40 pounds back. And right around the time I had my accident, we found out that my dad has a terminal illness. And so I was sitting in my house one day and I was like, okay, I'm going to have to be well to take care of my dad. So I'm going to have to take some of this weight off. Because I was already going to the gym. And so a year ago, I was in a car accident. That is weird.
It just re-looped.
It did. So I got a hold of Ralph and I started out with just intermittent fasting.
Mhm.
And then I went on the protocol. And I will say this, like, so a year ago when I was going to the gym, we have a Stairmaster there. We call it the Beast. And my goal has always been to get on the Beast for 20 minutes. I made about 3 minutes a year ago, and now I'm up to 13. So,
Nice.
and
Good.
my goal, I told the Beast on a Sunday morning a few weeks ago, I said, Beast, listen, by the end of winter, we're going to be doing this. We're going to be up to 20 minutes. I don't know if I can make it, but we're going to try.
That's a great goal. That's awesome. So how much, I was floored at how much, just from your before and after photo, you had changed. How much weight are you down now?
42 pounds.
Awesome. And that's how long you been on the system?
Not quite a year yet. It'll be a year and about a month.
That's amazing. So any other small wins you've noticed? Like anything,
like,
energy?
I sleep a lot better. I probably used to sleep about 3 or 4 hours and then be up and then sleep 3 or 4 hours. Now I can actually sleep like 6 hours at a time, which I've never done in my entire life. So that's good.
Yeah,
and I do have a lot more
game
energy.
changer.
I do have a lot more energy than I did. I mean, I'm not going to say that I'm as energetic as I was at 20, but
Yeah. Let's talk about that real quick because Greg, I know you've been doing this a while, and for me, the length I've been doing it, that's the thing that a lot of people say to me first is I'm sleeping better and my energy is through the roof. And those kind of go hand in hand, right? If you're getting a more restful night's sleep and sleeping through the night instead of getting up 2 or 3 times like I was to go to the bathroom, like that makes a big difference in your energy, but it also helps your body become more insulin sensitive. People don't realize this. If you sleep through the night.
Just did a video today, just a few minutes ago, on that exact subject.
Yeah. Yeah. If you can sleep through the night, I mean, they tell us we need to get 8 hours of sleep, but I don't ever get that. But just sleeping through the night, whether it's 6 hours or whatever, makes a huge difference. Can you touch on that a little bit?
I'm not the best person to talk about sleeping through the night, but I can tell you that I get more sleep than I did before. The part of the problem is for a person is that you need to want to go to bed. So if you actually are wanting to go to bed and you lay down and you're healthy, or your metabolic function is functioning the way it was designed, so there's a lot of benefit from just sleeping 7.5 hours a night. But you've got to want to go up into the bedroom, lay down in the bed, turn off your brain. So for me, I've never been someone who wanted today to end and go lay down. If I'm not exhausted, I don't go to bed. But fortunately, I have the ability to sleep 7 hours from whenever I go to bed.
I will say from firsthand experience, because I've traveled all over the world with this guy, like his sleep schedule is crazy. I remember when I first started in this business, he would call me at like 4 a.m. because he hadn't went to bed yet, going, "Hey man, was you up for work yet? Because I just thought of something that I need to tell you about." And I was like, "Hey dude, my alarm hasn't even went off yet. Let me call you back in a little while."
Get up! It's time. The world is moving forward, Jeff.
That's an idea.
Like, we went clear on the other side of the world to Vietnam, and this guy's still sleeping at like noon, and I'm like, "What's he doing?" And it's just because he doesn't go to bed at night. He waits until he's tired at 4
I
or
go to
5 in
bed
the morning
when
before
I'm
he goes
tired,
to
and I
bed.
get up when I'm not. And I love that, but it doesn't fit into most people's normal.
Right. Well,
Normal.
But
This is
I
what-
do get it's typical for me to get 6.5, 7.5 hours of sleep.
right. And I guess that's another benefit of doing this for your full-time career now, helping people change their lives, is you can kind of set your own schedule, right?
Now Layla tells me that I'm going to have a completely different lifestyle when she comes over here and lives. So you all will notice I'm thinking that Greg will suddenly be ready to be tired. We will see how that goes.
Shoot. But so that leads me to my next point. Laura was talking about fasting. That is part of this protocol. So I kind of want to go around the horn here. Is Greg, had you ever done fasting before? We'll kind of go in reverse direction here. Had you ever done fasting before? And was it something that was easy for you and you could sustain?
I did. It worked really well for me, 8.5 minutes. And then it didn't work after that, and I quit doing it. And that was the end of my fasting. I didn't like it. I say 8.5 minutes. I honestly don't think I lasted one full 24-hour period. At that time for me, it was hard. Every little bit of anything I was wanting to eat seemed to be calling out my name. I guess I didn't want it bad enough, because I think you've got to be at a place where you're wanting it, and at that time I just convinced myself in one day, no, this isn't going to work for me. No way. This is ridiculous. Just choose not to eat. I can't go 4 hours and choose not to eat. I'm supposed to just go like 16 hours and not eat. That's nonsense. I will say that once you get on this protocol, this chlorogenic acid drink that we call Unimate that Jeff is holding up, it's a game changer for many reasons. But just the only one I'm going to mention is it. Yeah, there it is. That being able to sip on that takes away all of my desire for food. So, for example, my first meal was 4 o'clock or something like that today. I wasn't thinking about it prior to that. I'll probably have something after this call, but I don't need much because I just ate then, and I'll be fine until tomorrow. But you drink 2 or 3 of these a day, and it just satiates me in a way that I was never able to just choose to not eat before. Where now I don't really think about food other than those 2 meals a day. And it wasn't as simple in week 1, but I knew I was committed for 90 days because I was going to get my money back. I knew whatever the qualification was, I'm going to do what it takes to get my money back, because it's probably not going to work.
Yeah.
And for me, in 30 days, 80% of that neuropathy pain was gone. 3 months, 95% of the neuropathy pain was gone. And those same 3 months, blood pressure, cholesterol, triglycerides, brain fog, circulation, inflammation, for me, all went back to normal levels, and 30 pounds fell off. I wasn't trying to diet. It was just follow the process because I need my feet to quit hurting. So that little packet that Jeff was holding up, that's powerful.
And we're going to explain here why that Unimate drink makes it so much easier to fast. Laura, if you can hear me, you said you had done fasting before and was having results. Do you find it easier to fast now? Has this helped you with your fasting?
Yes. So, Ralph can tell you, usually if I have a really long fast, I'm always like, hey, Ralph, guess what? I had 22 hours today. Like, because I do usually 18.
What? You sleep 18 to 22 hours a day?
No, I fast. I wish I could sleep 18 to 22 hours a day, 7 days a week. That would be awesome.
I miss having him on these lives, let me tell you.
I'd like to sleep 18 to 22 hours in a week sometimes.
Right. So that's awesome. Now I want to say real quick, we're not trying to tell people on this protocol you have to fast 18 to 24 hours, right? some of us are doing that because we've been doing this for a long time. We've been fasting for a long time. I don't ever recommend anyone just try to jump into even a 16-hour fast if you've never fasted before. Like, start slow and get your body used to it. So, Ralph, what about you with fasting?
I had done fasting before, but it never worked for me. Or I should say, it didn't work because I wasn't doing it properly and I was doing it wrong. I wasn't fasting. I was doing what I call the white man's version of fasting. I was freaking starving myself, and that's not fasting. And
Right.
once you figure out what fasting actually is and eating properly prior, you can go a heck of a lot longer when you're fueled by proteins and healthy fats. And then for me, the reason why I couldn't get the fasting down right is I would lose, then gain, lose, then gain. I'm like, well, this crap's not working. It wasn't because the fast wasn't working. I mean, I could bust out a 24-hour fast, but then I broke my fast the wrong way and just reversed all the results that I was getting. I was doing it wrong. I wasn't fasting. I was starving, then feasting, starving, then feasting. That's not intermittent fasting. Now,
Right. And you, what you mentioned there is you were breaking your fast wrong. And if you do that with a lot of carbs, you're just bringing all those cravings back, right? Because you reintroduce sugar straight into your system, whether it's bread or pasta or sweets. And all of a sudden, those cravings just come roaring back. Like a couple hours later, you're like, I need something else to eat, right? Because your blood sugar is going to crash from that spike from that sugary food. So, Melissa, we haven't heard much from you, so I want your answer about fasting, but also give us a quick, like, little synopsis of your health story.
Had a stroke 4 years ago, massive stroke. High blood pressure, the whole 9 yards. They put me on atorvastatin, which in turn turned me into a type 2 diabetic. So I am now on atorvastatin and metformin, and it is my goal to lose those two. I've gone from approximately, I think it was around 15 medications since having the stroke down. I don't know. I'd have to count, but I think I'm down to like 10 now. I did not feel like myself anymore because of the weight that I had gained from, I lost pretty much the whole right side of my body. And I am now walking, so 222 is my angel number. So I'm now walking 2.22 miles a day.
Awesome.
I get down on the floor and play with the grandkids, and that's my biggest thing.
Right.
I mean, if anybody asks, and I'm like, dude, I got down on the floor and played cars with Caden and Bryson. Because that's like the highlight of my day, is being able to play with my grandkids.
And that's what it's about, folks. Quality of life, right? We don't just want to
absolutely.
exist. We're not just trying to exist. We want to have a quality of life.
But I have to say, like, the first couple weeks, because I just started in April 5th. The first couple weeks, I will be honest, I woke up and I'm like, my goodness, am I dead? Because I felt no pain. My back didn't hurt. My joints didn't hurt. My plantar fasciitis didn't hurt anymore. It was amazing getting out of bed and being like, wow, I'm ready to go. I didn't have anywhere to go, but yeah. I don't know. It's just, it's been incredible. It's been absolutely life-changing. And I think people are probably tired of me talking about it, but I'm not going to stop.
That's right.
Can I chime in on her comment there? I just want to add something
go
here,
ahead.
Jeff. So what you just described, you were used to hurting, you were used to not feeling well. And then you were like, oh my goodness, am I dead? I'm not hurting. This is crazy. And then Ralph held up the Unimate. So just so anyone listening is understanding the connection, I think Ralph was picking up on is your inflammation was going down.
Yep.
You weren't hurting because inflammation was going down because of that Unimate,
Oh, absolutely.
because of the chlorogenic acid specifically, but the whole package is powerful. So go ahead, Ralph. Go ahead, Ralph. Say it.
Liquid gold.
Liquid gold. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so I love stories like that because we forget sometimes the longer you're here, you end up compressing your whole story. And then your story becomes like what you hear me do. I can ramble off this quoted story I've said for 3 years. But what you just said was, I felt like heck, and then I didn't. Something must be wrong. But it's so right because you're like, I feel good. And
Yeah.
it's for anyone that isn't, reach out to these guys because this really, really works. We're not making this up.
One thing that I have told Ralph before, that I will reiterate to anyone who asks about it, this is not for weight loss. So that's a bonus that everyone's losing weight.
Absolutely.
I have not had the weight loss that everybody else has, but I was bloated. I was swollen. I have lost that. I have lost inches. I'm looking at myself here and going, oh my gosh, my face looks thinner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You just said it. I have lost inches. So, and we all need to be reminded because we were told this in the beginning. We all need to be propping people up who say, hey, I haven't lost weight yet, but I've lost inches. My clothes feel differently. That your body isn't going to shed pounds until you get your gut health right. But you'll start seeing all of the improvement. So you're in process and you're doing it. You're doing it. I'm telling you that you're going to notice, just like these other people you have heard, all of a sudden it's like, whoa, 48 pounds is gone, 73 pounds, whatever the weight number is. A healthy metabolic function makes weight disappear. Otherwise, your metabolic function wouldn't be right.
My hair's coming back too.
Your hair's coming back.
So, just real quick, because I forgot to turn the chat on my screen so I could see what people were saying. So there's been a lot of comments in here. Michelle saying she's lost 42 pounds, taken off blood pressure meds in only 6 weeks. No more IBS. Chrissy has lost 87 pounds, reversed diabetes, neuropathy, fatty liver, inflammation all gone, rosacea, psoriasis. Easiest and best thing I've ever done. Janet Crowder said she looks amazing or looks fantastic. Just a lot of, people telling everybody they look great and yada, yada, yada. So that's awesome. Sorry, I forgot to pull up the chat. Chat says melt like a snowball when you're on this system. That's true. Dennis said, so Greg, I don't know if Greg knows this story yet. So this is a friend of Luann's, Greg. Dennis.
Which one? Who's a friend of Luann's?
Dennis Crowder. He's watching on Facebook.
He has friends.
She has a few. But Dennis suffered with MS, Greg.
Okay.
And he's now down, in 7 months, he's down 80
pounds.
80 pounds in 7 months. He's shooting for 100, but his MS symptoms are gone.
Yep.
That's
in
powerful.
7 months.
Yeah.
He was in kidney failure too, I believe.
Yep.
Yeah.
And Dennis, if you're still listening, talk just so we can have the contrast here. What happened in your first 3 months? How many pounds had you lost? And do you know, Luann? How many pounds was lost in the first 3 months?
No, he's just steadily been losing the entire time. It's been amazing.
That's great.
Yeah, he's got an amazing story, and he's helping a bunch of people now too. They're like, every day he's posting something on Facebook, and I see he's got 30, 40 comments of people like, what is it? How do I get it? Give me information.
Good.
And
because sometimes the weight comes off fast for some people, and sometimes like what you were saying, it comes off slower, and it's more about inches. So for everyone that's watching, understand that it isn't the same for everybody. So this
Right.
is great.
And
45 pounds in the first 3 months, Dennis says.
Wow.
Yeah, that's awesome. And Melissa, like for you, I'm so happy that so what a lot of people would do is they say, well, I didn't lose weight as fast as Ralph, so this isn't working for me, and they give up, right? Where if people are like Melissa and they notice those other wins, like I'm not hurting, like my joints don't ache, I can get down on the floor and play with grandkids, and you just keep going, the wins just with this system, it's like the wins just keep piling up one on top of another. And before you know it, you'll be down that 80 pounds like Dennis is or whatever. Because like Greg always told me in the beginning, and like I tell everybody now, if you don't get your insulin under control, Greg always said you're not going to lose weight till you get your gut health right. Which is so true. And I took it a step farther, and everybody else does too. You can't lose weight if your insulin levels are chronically elevated. If the insulin's high, you cannot burn fat for fuel. But if the insulin's low, the fat will go. That's what Luann always says. And it's so true because insulin is a fat storing hormone. It's a growth hormone. Jared put in here down from 260 to 185 in 8 months. A1C from 6 to 5.4. His gout's gone. First 3 months was down 30 pounds.
Good deal.
Oh,
Amazing.
he said down third. It just popped up there. Where'd it go? 3 down 36 months, 60.
No. First 3 months
right
he was
now?
down 30 pounds. 6 months he was down 60 pounds.
That's what I was saying. Did I not say that? Yep. Wonderful.
Our lady, that's so true. My inflammation and stiffness is gone by. My weight is slowly coming off. So that's what we want to make sure that everybody realizes is this is about healing your whole body, fixing your gut health, making you more insulin sensitive, and your body will. I heard this from a doctor I listened to one time. Said your body's its own hospital. It will heal itself if you give it the things it needs to do it, which means it's got to get the right nutrients. And most of us aren't getting that from our food because we're eating all this processed garbage, right? And if you start eating whole foods, like Greg always says, Hippocrates said, let food be thy medicine and medicine be thy food. That's what we got to get back to because our body will heal itself. Luann looks at people's blood every day, and she knows what changing your lifestyle and eating real food will do for you. So, Luann, if you can touch on that real quick, and then we're going to tell people what the protocol is and how they can get it.
Well, I want to tell a little story. So my daughter has Crohn's disease, and she's had it for over 10 years now. So without a large intestines, it's very hard to absorb foods, nutrients, anything. She has been on the protocol for a while now. She's lost, I believe, 25 pounds now. But the most amazing thing is that she's absorbing this. And she has had no blockages since she started it.
Charlotte Parker says, what is it, please? Charlotte, we're going to tell you here in just a second. Stick with us.
So, yeah, if you give your body the things it needs, it can start to heal itself. And to find something for your child that helps them not have blockages, keeps them out of the hospital, is one of the best feelings in the world.
Absolutely.
And so
thank you for sharing
that these products are life-changing. It's not about weight loss. It's about getting the inflammation down, which with Crohn's disease, I've had ulcerative colitis. Your intestines are inflamed. And so that's why you get the blockages. That's why you get the pain. So when you don't have that anymore,
oh, good job, Jessica.
It's starting to heal.
Yeah. So you just touched on it. Anything that ends in itis, folks. So ulcerative colitis, bursitis, any of that type of stuff, it's just inflammation. Arthritis, all that stuff is just inflammation, right? You get rid of the inflammation, that stuff goes away. So we're going to tell you real quick what this protocol is. We touched on it a little bit. Part of it is intermittent fasting. So I always recommend everyone don't jump in the deep end first if you don't know how to swim. Start with just taking a break from food 12 hours a day. You're going to do most of that while you're sleeping, right? And then just have 2 meals in that other 12-hour window, okay? And try to prioritize fiber, protein, and healthy fats. Do that for a week or so until that 12-hour fast becomes easy to you. Bump it up to 14 hours and have 2 meals in a 10-hour window. And then when that's easy for you, go to the 16, because 16's when the weight loss really starts to kick in, the ketone production, autophagy starts at right at 16 hours. And then some of us, I mean, I've done a 72-hour fast by just sipping on this Unimate. And if you would have told me 2.5 years ago that I would fasted for 3 days, I'd have told you you're out of your freaking mind. But once I hit that 24-hour mark, it was like somebody just turned the light switch on in my head. I felt so much more energy, so more alert and focused. So, but the key to this is get yourself to at least 16 hours a day. And then in an 8-hour window, just eat 2 meals and don't snack. Now, I know what people were thinking, and Greg's sitting there shaking his head, because when you first start talking to someone about this, they're like, dude, I can't go 2 hours without eating or munching on something. How am I going to go 16? Well, that's where this protocol that we use comes into play. You've heard us talking about Unimate and all the benefits of it, right? This is chlorogenic acid, theobromine, some saponins, vitamins, minerals, and antioxidants. This has been clinically proven at major hospitals and universities around the world to increase cognitive brain function, give you a better sense of well-being, regulate blood pressure, whether it's high or low, give you sustained energy, increase ketone production, which is fat burning, right? Ketosis is when you're burning fat for fuel. And it also increases the hormone GLP-1. Now, I don't want anybody thinking he's telling me that this packet is GLP-1. No, that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is this packet has been clinically proven by Dr. Benjamin Bickman, if you drink it in a fasted state, to increase your body's own production of the hormone GLP-1 naturally by up to 67%. Most people don't realize that our bodies make GLP-1. It's a hormone.
What? You're saying that the medical system didn't come up with that idea? My body can create that stuff?
Absolutely. The problem is the overeating of ultra processed food inhibits the production of GLP-1 in your body, just like it inhibits nitric oxide production in your body, which is why you have high blood pressure. Or guys, you can't, you have this problem, or you have, circulation issues, or heart problems, heart palpitations. It's because you don't have enough nitric oxide in your body to dilate your blood vessels. This helps with that, and it's all natural. It's just a plant, okay? It's ultra purified. It goes through a 5-step purification process where all the toxins and pesticides are removed, and it has 375 times the amount of chlorogenic acid as any commercial grade yerba mate you can buy at Walgreens or Walmart or any of those places, and they have tons of hidden sugar in them. In fact, I looked at a can the other day and I was mad that I didn't make a video, because I looked at a can of yerba mate on the shelf and it had 19 grams of carbs and like 17 grams of added sugar in it. And I'm like, that totally defeats the purpose of drinking yerba mate in the first place, because that's going to spike your blood sugar, not make you more insulin sensitive and keep your blood sugar low. So it's also patented. It can't be copied. So you're never going to see this specific brand in a store. Okay. So what I do, and y'all can like nod your head or say yeah or speak up whenever you want. When I get up in the
Charlotte
morning,
Parker, in case you don't realize, he's telling you what the drink is right now.
yeah, it's called Unimate. So when I wake up in the morning, go to the bathroom, brush my teeth, And then I walk straight to the kitchen and I make this. And I make it in like a 28-ounce tumbler cup. So you can make this hot or cold. You can drink it 16 to 32 ounces of water, and you just sip on it throughout your morning. Okay. You don't, it's not something that you would drink quickly like a cup of coffee or a soda or an energy drink. You just want to sip on this throughout your morning. That's what, so GLP-1, the reason people take those jabs is because it shuts off the food noise, it curbs your cravings. This does that naturally without a synthetic drug that you're injecting in your body. Okay. That's why we just don't have those cravings. We're not looking for the next snack or wanting to munch on something all the time. Is that the case for all of you? Like,
Mhm.
do you feel that? I mean, I don't want to speak for you. So if that's not how it makes you guys feel, like, speak up.
That's fact.
Right. It's fact. Okay. So then I would say for most of us around noon, if we're eating 2 meals a day around noon, 1 o'clock, we break our fast and try to prioritize fiber. So have salad, cruciferous vegetables, legumes, beans, that sort of thing. A good source of protein, whether it's fish, chicken, turkey, steak, hamburger, some kind of red meat, and healthy fats. So that could be fat from your protein. It could be avocados. It could be olives. It could be olive oil, butter, grass-fed butter, those sorts of things. Those 3 things will help you stay full longer and feel full faster. Okay. And then I try to keep my carbohydrates to the end of my meal because eating in the right order is going to help limit that blood sugar response from those carbs that you do eat. Then, Luann, what do you do after lunch? So I know most of the time you do OMAD, so you don't have lunch, but what do you do 1, 2 o'clock in the afternoon? Another one of these?
Oh,
So,
another one.
Or my third one. Man.
so for me, in the afternoon, I was always sucking down a Pepsi or a sweet tea or something that was destroying my health, spiking my blood sugar, making me crave more stuff, right? So now I just make a second one of these after lunch and I sip through the afternoon. Now I don't have the cravings. I don't have the need to munch on something because I didn't have that crash of blood sugar after lunch that makes me want more food. And then the third step is diverse blend of fiber. So don't mistake this for Metamucil, Benefiber, Citracil, FiberCon, any of those things. Those are all single source fibers. If you need to have a bowel movement, then maybe go take you some Metamucil or something like that. But this is a blend of 7 different soluble and insoluble fibers. So to get that much fiber from your food and that diversity, Greg, how many different things of fiber would you need on your plate to get what you get in this little packet?
Boy, I can't remember the exact number, but I know with broccoli, you just need to eat all of it in the freezer. All of it for one meal.
Everything.
Make all of it.
Right. If you eat a whole head of broccoli, you would get about the same amount of grams of fiber that you get from this, but that's only one source, right?
That's true. That's one source.
That's only insoluble fiber. You need the soluble fiber to blunt that glucose spike, to help fill you up and keep you from overeating. So this specific fiber was studied at the Cleveland Clinic, the #1 heart hospital in the world. Now, something I always like to put out before I tell what this study says is heart disease is still the #1 killer in the world today. Do anybody know what the #1 prescribed medication in the world today is?
Statin.
Yeah, I'm probably on it.
Statins. Okay, so if statins helped with heart disease and is the #1 prescribed medication in the world, why is heart disease still the #1 cause of death in the world today?
You were not supposed to say that out loud.
Yeah, might get shut down for saying that. Well,
Do
the
you know
#1.
what else statins cause? 100% of the time?
Go ahead,
Diabetes.
tell us.
Memory loss.
Memory.
I
Yeah.
forgot.
Yep.
Memory loss. They've also been proven to cause type 2 diabetes, muscle aches and pains. The number one heart hospital in the world said that if this specific blend of plant fibers, they published this study in the medical journal Metabolism. Why it wasn't worldwide news, I think we all know why, right? They don't want statins to go away. But they said if this was taken regularly, it could reduce cardiovascular risk on a population basis and could reduce the need or dosage for lipid lowering prescription drugs, which are everybody statin. So, I mean, you have to start thinking for yourself and you've got to start educating yourself. I have nothing against medical professionals, doctors. If I'm in a car wreck tomorrow, take me to the hospital, right? I have a lot of family that are involved in the medical field, but they're taught to diagnose and prescribe. If we want to reverse these problems and get off of all the medication, we got to start doing the research. We got to start eating real food. We got to start giving our gut the things it needs to thrive. Okay. So if you mix this in 8 ounces of cold water, and when you first get on the system, I don't have one sitting right here, but you get a little bottle with it that tells you how much water you need. It's about 8 ounces. Mix it in cold water. Yep. Melissa's holding the bottle up, but it comes in mixed berry or orange. I don't have an orange one sitting here either. There's two different flavors of it. You mix it in 8 ounces of water, you shake it like 4 or 5 times, and you chug it down. And you've got your fiber. Now, most of the time, I'm still eating veggies on top of that, or a salad, because I like salads. But if you're a picky eater and you don't like veggies, you're probably not getting any fiber. Or at least you're not getting the amount of fiber that you need.
Right.
So why not supplement with some that tastes good and helps fill you up? But what this does is the soluble fiber coats your stomach, slows down digestion, slows the absorption of glucose, cholesterol, and fats into your bloodstream. That's why so many people, like my mom, dropped her cholesterol numbers by like 200 points in like seven months. She got off of 3 statin medications. Her doctor told her at 74, her blood work looked better than most 18-year-olds she sees.
Wow.
The only thing she changed was she's put these 2 packets, well, it's actually 3, but 2 of them are the same, into her lifestyle. That's all she changed, right? So you mix this, you chug it down, and you have your food. Now, I still try to be mindful and not like overload my body with carbohydrates just before I'm going to wind down for the day and go to bed. But I try to give myself, I want to get you all's answer on this. I try to give myself at least 3 hours of not consuming any new food or calories at all before I go to bed. Are you all kind of following that too?
Yep.
Because for me, that was a game changer. 1, I wasn't waking up having cravings and feeling hungry. And 2, I was sleeping much better by doing that. Before, I would be sitting on the couch at 10 o'clock eating a bowl of ice cream and then go to bed. And I'd toss and turn, roll around, wake up in the morning like, where's my Egg McMuffin? I need that coffee with cream and sugar. I don't do that anymore, right? So that all matters, guys. You can't late night eat and think your body's going to regulate its insulin and blood sugar and not be hungry in the morning when you wake up. Your body doesn't work that way. So we got to be smart. Go ahead, Greg.
For people who are listening to us and you're having the thought that I probably was when I would have heard this 3 years ago, here's the things I want to make sure you're grasping. You simply are not going to get a diversity of fiber. People think they will, but I mean, you don't have the discipline or you wouldn't be in the situation you find yourself in now. We haven't eaten diverse blends of fiber. We just don't. And if you think you're going to be strong enough to cut out all of the snacks, you don't even know what snacks are. Because you'll tell me, I don't snack. But how many of you got M&Ms hidden in the little secret drawer when you're laying in bed? You can reach in, grab some M&Ms, and nobody. That's a snack. No. I have almonds. I have almonds back there. They're healthy. folks, you know you wouldn't be in the situation you're in if you had the ability to consistently live the way we all have learned to live. And this guy doesn't, I never look like this. This isn't the me you would have known 3 years ago, 6 years ago, 8 years ago. I was up, down, up, down, up, down.
He likes
McDonald's.
apple crisp too much.
I love it. And he destroyed me. And Michelle probably spiked my apple crisp that day. She's not here looking at me, but she knows I saw her doing it. I don't
Oh,
eat much
shoot.
sugar anymore. So when you guys take me out and say, boom, here's your favorite thing in the
yeah.
world to eat, I'm going to say, give me 2. And then, so take balance away from me. I'm going to destroy myself. I know me. I will. And they watch me. Now, we have the ability to put balance in front of it. I did that day. But even with that, it was a whole lot of sugar in a short amount of time for what I'm used to.
Yeah.
So
And-
I hope you all pay attention to what these guys are saying, because they all have phenomenal results, and you can too.
And I guess the part that I know Greg's like me, he loves this part, is I don't feel like I'm on a diet. And if I still want a couple slices of pizza tonight, or in Ralph's case, a big plate of pasta and some garlic bread, we can do that from time to time on this system and not feel like we totally just destroyed everything we've been looking, going for and trying to achieve. It doesn't set, what I'm trying to say is if you put this in front of that meal, it doesn't set you back as far as if Greg wouldn't have put that in front of that apple crisp, or if I wouldn't have put that in front of, 2 or 3 slices of pizza, like my blood sugar would have been 300 again, right? But now I can eat a couple slices of pizza and within 2 hours, my blood sugar is like 120. There's no way. I averaged fasting blood sugar 250 to 350 before I started this protocol. I know Ralph was in the same boat. I mean, I was almost at a 10 A1C, and in 4.5 months was down to not considered diabetic anymore and at a 5.4. So if you're in this situation and you want to try something natural, understand these 2 products have 5 patents on them, right? They cannot be copied. They're safe and natural. There are no drugs in them. They're listed in the physician's desk reference where all medications are listed. Your doctor used to have a blue book on his desk, but now everything's digital, so it's called the prescriber's digital reference. You can look these up. Your doctor can recommend these, but they won't because they're not getting any of that. They have more than 20 clinical trials at major hospitals and universities. I mentioned the Cleveland Clinic. There's also the Sydney Institute, Brigham Young, UNLV, and a whole bunch of others. They're available in almost 60 different countries around the world. They're HSA and FSA qualified, meaning if you have a health savings or a flexible spending account, you can use them to pay for these products. It has to be pre-approved, like your doctor has to write you an order for them, but you can use those. And has anything you've ever tried, any of you, ever gave you a 90-day money-back guarantee?
No.
Ralph laughs because he's like me. He's tried everything and is like, shit, no, I have never been.
Nothing.
This company.
No pharmaceuticals ever gave me a 90-day money back guarantee either, or I'd be worth $1.5 million right now.
Right.
And let me ask Luann. Luann, if I gave you back all of the money you have spent on this protocol from day one, would you take it back?
No.
Not at all.
That's how I feel. That's how I
No
feel.
way.
No way. This is
No
my
way.
policy to where I will
Life.
never go back to where I was.
Yeah.
Right. So if you want to try this protocol, reach out to whoever invited you to this live, whether it was one of us or somebody else in the comments. Reach out to them. They can get you the discount link. Make sure whatever you do, get the discount link.
Yeah.
Because it's going to save you like $75. This costs you, these 3 packets every day cost you $5.33 US. Most people spend more than that a day on a Starbucks coffee or a couple energy drinks or a couple bottles of Pepsi.
Yep.
$5.33 can change your life if you follow it the way it's designed and you do it consistently. So make sure to reach out, get a discount link. They can give you more information. If you're someone that's like, well, I want to see the clinical data, we can get you the clinical data. If you're someone like I was, when I saw Greg's video talking about neuropathy, I was like, where do I get it? Sign me up. I want it tomorrow.
Yep.
You know, I don't care how much it costs. My feet hurt so gosh darn bad.
That's
Like,
right.
I'll pay $20 a day for this if it gets rid of my neuropathy pain.
Mm-hmm.
If you're in that situation, you're in the right life.
Yep.
If you're still on the fence, talk to the guy down there in the green shirt in the far corner, because he procrastinated, was so skeptical, waited for over a year to try this. And then
Yeah.
3 weeks later, he was kicking himself in the rear end going, Jeff, like, why didn't I try this sooner? Like, what is in this stuff? It's like totally changed my life.
Yeah.
I don't mean to put words in your mouth, but that's the truth. He called me up and was like, we've got something here, because I've never felt like this.
Yeah.
And
That's fact.
and then most of us have had such amazing results with this protocol that we decided, listen, people are asking me, what am I doing to lose weight? And why do I have so much energy? And all I'm doing is sharing my story. Well, I may as well become a business partner with this company and start sharing it with people and get my product paid for. Like,
Yeah.
if that's all that ever happened to me is I just got this paid for every month, outstanding. But instead, like, it's changing my family's life financially as well. And I've been able to travel all over the world with this goofball down here. I mean, we were running through the airport in Japan, like, we can't even read these signs. We have no idea where we're even going. But we got to where we were going and we have fun with it. The best part is we're changing people's lives. Like, I don't know like, I've done a lot of things in my life, and I've never done anything so satisfying as every day. And I'm sure most of you are too. And if not, it will happen soon. You get a text message going, thank you so much for showing this to me. Like, I'm now off my blood pressure medicine, or I've lost another 10 pounds.
Or I can get up from the floor with my grandkids.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
the stories
Without
like
calling
that,
the towing company.
yeah, the stories like that make this just a no-brainer, especially if you're like, well, I'm going to do it anyway. I'm going to use the products anyway. Greg, can you speak to a little bit about the business before we hop off here?
Yes, I will. And the secret that nobody tells you unless we just think to say it, and I just thought to say it, so I'll let the cat out of the bag right now. It doesn't cost you a penny. He said $5.33 for these three, but if you just follow the system, you save more money. I tracked it because I was a skeptic. In the first month, I saved more money in my grocery bill than I spent to buy the protocol. And I tracked it for the whole 3 months. And I'm like, I'm ahead. So believe us, it isn't going to cost you anything net. I mean, you're going to pay for it. But your grocery bill, if you just follow the system, your grocery bill goes down, and you are actually saving more than you spent. It's amazing. What can I say about the business part? My family dies of heart attacks, like I told you in the beginning. And I feel like the good Lord gave me the ability to stop people from having heart attacks. And sincerely as I can say this, I'm trying to save your lives. That's why I do what I do. They just give a really good comp plan. So I'm 3 years into this, and I make enough money from this that I don't have to work. And I'm not even one of the top income earners in the company. I'm just saying, for most of you people that are just used to working a regular job, this replaces that. They built it that way. And the beauty of it is it's a residual, it's a recurring income model, meaning you keep getting compensation from people you helped. Like, why wouldn't you want to tell your friend who's going to have a heart attack? And if you ask him, he's going to say, yeah, dad died of a heart attack. His uncle's died of a heart attack. His mom died of a heart attack. The whole family does that. Well, why wouldn't you say, well, you should try this? Net is going to cost you $0 anyway. And if it didn't work for you, they're going to give you your money back. Do you have a better plan, Bob? No. Maybe you should try this. See, how hard was that? We all can do that if you just do that. And then we make it even easier. Jeff or Greg or Luann or Ralph, all of us, we all are happy to tell the story like we're doing it now. We'll pull people together, and all you would have to do is say, hey, there's some people out there that are going to talk about this. You really should pay attention to it. And for the skeptics, once a week, we usually have a medical professional someplace in the world that's walking you through everything we just said, but they just happen to have a medical degree behind their name. So if you hear better from a medical professional, they'll tell you, you need to be using this. Throw me some names, right? Throw me professions, doctors, medical professionals, right off the top of your head.
Nurses, dietitians, pharmacists, endocrinologists, nephrologists, a brain surgeon, diabetes educators. I mean, there's so many of them involved in this now. And I forget blood microscopy. I can't say it, but Luann,
our very
Blood
own
microscopist.
medical professional.
Yeah, blood microscopist. Luann looks at blood every day. Laura, can you hear me?
Yeah.
So let me ask you real quick before we end this. What made you to decide? I know what you're going to say. Ralph made me do it. What made you to decide to hop into this business side of this?
I'm part of my actual job, my career at the moment is community education. So I teach people about home health and hospice. So why not teach them about health? The people in my friends on Facebook that ask me all the time, oh my gosh, how'd you lose so much weight? And I tell them, and then they just kind of look at me weird. And so I was like, well, maybe if I join this and show them that it really isn't just something that Ralph talks about, because we have lots of mutual friends on Facebook, that it's not just Ralph, that other people have results, that maybe, we can help more people.
Right. Exactly. And that's all I was trying to say is if you're like, I don't want any part of this business side of this, understand everyone who orders this protocol gets a custom referral link. People are going to ask you whether you want them to or not. If you do this consistently and follow it the way it's designed, they're going to ask you, what in the heck have you been doing? Like, you're in a better mood. You have more energy. You're always early to work now. How have you lost so much weight? And all you got to do is share your link with them. And if they order, you get a $10 credit towards your next order. And if you do that with enough people, then I think you're crazy if you don't say, hey, I may as well do this business because people are asking me every day what I'm doing anyway. I may as well jump in the business side of this and get my product paid for and be able to travel around and help people change their life. That's my take on it. Other people might be different. But before we close this, any closing comments from you, Luann? What would you say to somebody?
I would say
Look at Dennis's
that. What Dennis say?
I can no longer go out in public peacefully. People want to talk to me. Because it works.
Because it works.
That's true, Dennis.
If I went back to when I was 3, I was diagnosed with RA. The root cause, insulin resistance. Didn't know it then. Fast forward, got rosacea as a teenager. Root cause, insulin resistance. Didn't have my gallbladder taken out. Had discs replaced in my neck. Got cancer that metastasized into, everywhere. The root cause, too much sugar in my blood. Insulin resistance. If I would have known what I knew then, maybe, I could have changed things. I'm a firm believer that God saved me from all of that mess so that I can help others to never have to be as sick as what I once was. The hardest thing you'll ever hear is that you have 6 months to live. It's not
Yeah.
easy. So
Luann, I'm glad you were roaming around the cemetery that day.
I know, just never know. But yeah, I mean, we always say we do anything for our kids, we do anything for our grandkids. Get healthy for them, be there for them. I plan on living till I'm 125, just to tick everybody off. So, yeah.
Awesome plan. So I want to say, so what you just said, thinking about kids and grandkids and those sorts of things. I'll add one thing about the business, then we're going to hop off of here. It's something I don't ever really talk about on lives or whatever about this business. But if you want to build something that is wholesome and you're helping people change their lives and you can hand down to your children or your grandchildren, you can do that with this business. How awesome would it be if you build a business to making $10,000 a month and you could leave that for one of your kids or your grandkids and they could just pick up and be making $10,000 a month from what you built? This business is a willable asset. You can leave it to someone. And that was kind of the selling point for me because I struggled my whole life. I've worked so many hours and missed so many things that I was like, if even if I only build this to $5,000 a month and I can leave that to my kids where they've got all they got to do is just pick up and start ordering the protocol and they can make that $5,000 a month as long as it's coming in. To me, that was worth the money of becoming a franchise owner in this business. So if you want to help people change their lives, if you want to get your health back on track and maybe get off of the pharma merry-go-round, if you want to build something that's wholesome and have fun doing it, making residual income and be able to leave something to your children or grandchildren, you need to look into this. Reach out, even if it's just to try the products, reach out to who invited you. If you're like, I want to hear more about this business opportunity, like reach out to the person that invited you. We can show you in detail how this works. We work this, like this is a huge family. We do these lives together. We crack jokes and make videos and just talk to people in everyday life because they're asking us what we're doing. And to me, it's the best thing I've ever done. So if you want any of that information, reach out. We'll be happy to share it with you. All right. Thank you all for joining us. It was a little bit longer than usual, but I appreciate everybody's time.
Nice to meet you, Melissa and Laura.
You as well.
Nice to meet you.
All right.
Good
Everybody have a
seeing
good
you
night.
all.